everybody, we are going to do this one live today. So if you're just joining us for the first time, normally we do videos. I do videos on our channel here, Jazz Wealth, where we talk about investing, budgeting, personal finance, anything I can help you with. I'm a financial advisor with Jazz Wealth Managers. We're here for you, the beginner, the smaller investor. We are not trying to attract the larger investor. We do not have commercials on TV during the Super Bowl, things like that. We want to work with the beginning investor to help you get your dough straight. We want to help you get your dough straight. We want to help you with your long-term retirement investments. And if you're just checking us out for the first time, on our website, jazzwealth.com, you can actually see our portfolios that we manage. How well have they done, good or bad, and the different types of, the different levels of aggressiveness you can take with your investing to kind of see what it means. If you transfer an account from somewhere else to Jazz Wealth, if you roll over a 401k or just start a brand new investment account, at least you'll know kind of the portfolios that you'll have the option to work with. Now, one thing that I do get the advantage on is I get to see people with their their mistakes, right? The things that they do that really affect them in the long term, the things that hurt them, the things that really help them. And I notice some patterns, right? There's a lot of things that people do that I just shake my head at. And if you're one of our customers, I'll flat out tell you not to do this. We're fiduciaries. So any advice that I give you, is coming from the heart. It's coming from what's best for you. But there's some things I just shake my head at, and people consistently make these mistakes. And then a lot of things are psychological as well. So I put together 8 things that hold you back from building your wealth. And I want to be very careful about this. I am not talking about, wealth in the traditional format of Instagram, or wealth where you see these kids online pretend to be buying, fancy cars and things like that. I'm not talking about that show-off wealth. I'm talking about that longevity wealth, building what you need for the future, whether it's retirement or to take care of your family or just to invest for the long term, the mistakes that people make. So we're going to go through 8 of them today. Since we're doing it live, there won't be any sort of thing at the bottom or anything that shows, number 1, number 2, number 3. You'll just have to follow along. So the first thing that I see from people is all psychological. It's a mental game. They think it's not possible to become wealthy or to save for some level of wealth. And one of the things we do really well here is we tell you that it's not a matter of having $1 billion for you to be wealthy. Now, maybe that's your goal. That's what you want to shoot for. But for us, what we're looking for is, what's your goal? What do you want to do when you age? What do you want to do? What's the goal of your long-term investment? And then we shoot for that goal. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. We shoot for what your particular goal is. And a lot of people think it's just not possible. If we break the numbers down for a client, we say, look, that means you need to put $102 in every week into your retirement to hit your goal. People start going, oh man, well, I'll never get there. Even if I do invest, then maybe it doesn't happen for me, and I don't know that I get there. And so there's this psychological barrier to doing it. And of course, the answer here at Jazz is always, we'll just reduce the amount. Start slow. We don't care if you start small. Just start slow, and then you can ease into it. Watch your investments work for you, or whatever it is you're working on, whether you're building a business or flipping houses or whatever it is. Start small and see that works for you, then go from there. So that's number 1. It's a mental block, right? And I understand that people are intimidated by money and finance, investing, and so there's this mental block where people go, I just don't think it's possible. The second thing, once we get over that hurdle, is people don't do the math. I can't tell you, this is actually a funny one, where people go, Dustin, I opened my account, I put $100 in, tell me how much I need to put in order to have a good retirement. I laugh at that because it's like, well, what does that mean? What is a retirement to you? What are you investing for? We need to know the numbers, right? We've got to do the math at some point. And that's another thing, right? It's hard enough to get people to focus on investing. It's even harder to get them to do math, right? So thankfully, there's some calculators. There's things we can do, or we'll do it for you, but you got to do the math. If your goal is to have $1.5 million in retirement, or live on $50,000 in future dollars per year, or to have your house paid off, or to have sold a business at some point for X number of dollars, you got to do the math, right? How are you going to get there? Whether it's a simple equation that says, well, that means I need to invest this much, or it's more complicated by saying I need to bring in partners and build the business and then sell off pieces of the company, whatever it may be, you got to do the math, okay? So that's number two. Number one, think that it's possible. Most of you think it's not possible, but we need you to think that it's possible. Number two, do the math, right? Take a minute, use your phone. We got calculators on all our phones. Do the math. Number three, as someone who is now setting out for their goals, we tend to not separate the wants from the needs, okay? And that one really kills me because I hear people, I have phone conversations with a lot of you where I hear the excitement in your voice, the things you want to do, but then I see you on social media doing things that are not directly related to that goal and are taking you further from your goal than getting closer to it. And so a lot of us won't separate the wants from the needs in the immediate term, right? Now on the back end of that, we don't separate our wants from our needs when it comes to planning, right? So if you're planning on something for the future, what is it that you really want and what is it you really need? That's why we have a range, right? When we tell somebody you want to invest this amount of money, you'll end up with between this and this, because it depends on, your wants and your needs, of course, in the end. So the most important part, and the one that really sticks to me the most, is when people say they want some goal, and then I notice they're not, they want the goal, but they're not making the right progress towards it. So be very careful about that. If you're dedicated towards a goal, again, start small. You don't have to dive in feet first and say, I'm going to invest $10,000 a year, or I'm going to pay my house off by the end of the year and pay cash for a car. Start small, ease your way into it. But if the car that you're trying to pay cash for is a Tesla, are you really working your way towards the goal, right? Are you all of a sudden saying that's more of a want than a need? Think about it, okay? So number one, think it's not possible. We need you to focus. It is possible. You can do it. Whatever your goals are, you can put it down and make it happen. Number two, just do the math, right? Have a plan for what you're trying to do. Number three, be honest with yourself about your goal. Are you separating your wants from your needs when it comes to that? And number four, this is the problem that I think a lot of people are getting better at, but people tend to budget and only focus on their expenses. And that's a problem, okay? So most people go, a budget's like a diet. I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna figure out how I can slash my cable bill, I'm gonna call the credit card company and get a better interest rate. All that stuff's great, right? That's a good start, but we need to start thinking about how you're going to increase your wealth, increase your earnings, increase your side hustle, whatever it is you're doing, to compensate for that. We want the scales to go like this, right? So as your expenses go down, we find ways to get your income higher. Now, I'm not one of those guys that's saying go out and do something, start a new business, flip houses, or do whatever. I'm saying that as you plan for that, keep in mind your income will likely go up. So as you're reducing your budget and you're fixing your expenses, I want you to start thinking about in the future, you're going to have higher income, right? You're going to do something that's better than what you're doing right now. You're going to increase your income. It's human nature that we will seek out more income and do whatever it takes. So what you have to do is when you say, Dustin, I'm going to contribute to my retirement account, I'm going to put some money in there every week. Well, we have to think that every year or so we need to up that, right? We need to go by, maybe it's 5% more. I don't know, something small. But we have to plan and think that we are going to have higher income in the future as our expenses get lower. You're getting your dough straight now. That's great, right? Our expenses are going down. Our debts are going down. You're doing everything that is possible. Now, as you plan, remember your income's going to go higher. That'll help motivate you and keep you excited about the game that you're playing. So that is number four. I'm going to move on to number five here. I don't want to take too much of your time. Number five. This one kills me. This one should almost be number one. The number five thing that holds people back from their wealth is following fad or the in investment right now. And I could talk for an hour about this. I'll be honest. I could do like a whole speech on this. But following what the hot investment is right now has never made anybody wealthy. It may have made them temporarily richer than they were, but you've never seen somebody follow for example, pot stocks. Who's getting rich off of that? It's not California, or it's not Colorado, because it's legal in Colorado, and Colorado has a humongous problem with their pension funds. I talked about this yesterday. $225 million a year they need from you guys in the state of Colorado to fund the pensions. Additional $225 million. So people that dove into that pot stock thing, how's that going for you, right? Have you made any money yet? No, nobody has become rich off of that. Cryptocurrencies, do you really know anybody that's rich off of that, right? It really pissed me off. The other day they had this conference in New York, and was it Bitcoin? No, I think it was Litecoin or Coinbase. It might have been the exchange. It might have been the platform. They rented Lamborghinis and Ferraris to be outside of this conference to attract the youth to come in to this conference. How ridiculous is that? They're promoting the idea of quick money when in reality this is not quick money. So quit following the fad investments. There will be more. I promise you there will be more. What was the one the other day I heard? Darn it, I forget what it was, but I was like, yep, that's probably the next one. But that's what happens. Things move on. We went from pot stocks to cryptocurrency. We will move on to something else. Don't follow that crap. Go with the tried and true. If you look at our performance on our website, the actual portfolios that we have there, it gives you the history of what we try to do for you. Now, I can't say that will happen in the future, but at least there's history of that happening. At least you know there's someone on this end who can play that game through history and show you that that's what you can do. So those fad investment ones, please don't call me and say crypto anything. Not interested. Okay, so number one, you think it's not possible to build wealth. It is. Number two, you're not doing the math. You can do the math, right? Or I could do it for you. Number three, don't separate your wants from your needs. You know better than that. Number four, you focus only on expenses when you budget. Number five, you follow ridiculous fad investment trends. And number six, and I'm guilty of this too. I am 100% guilty of this, so I'm not picking on you. I'm picking on me when I say this. You spend time with spenders, right? And this is off the topic of investing. But do you spend time with spenders? And now I know there's a delay, but I see some of you posting questions there. I'll get to in a second. But tell me, do you spend time with spenders? And if so, whose money are you spending, right? So I spend time with some of my best friends, and they used to be really good with their money. Actually, one guy in particular, he's a customer of mine, best friend, known him forever. He has become such a spender, complete 180. I'm not sure what happened. But when we go out, I find that I'm spending my money. I'm not spending his money, and he's not spending his money. However, he's a spender. He never wants to do anything that just is like kind of basic stuff. Like, let's just go hang out. Let's go have a drink somewhere. One drink, right? He wants to go make a whole night of it. Come to find out, I'm spending my money. So that holds you back from becoming wealthy. The people that you hang out with, you know that. This is basic information, right? The people that you hang out with are holding you back because they are the spenders, and I'll bet you're spending more than they are. It's weird how it goes, but it really does go that way. So number six, spending time with spenders, just stop it. You got to find people that are on the same page financially as you. They can have more money, they could have less money. But if they have the same goals, they have the same focus, that is what we're trying to focus on there. Okay, number seven, you can't invest with a fear mindset, okay? This is a big one, and you probably read this in books along the way somewhere. But Warren Buffett is, in my opinion, not a great investor because he picks stuff. I mean, for the longest time, he was in insurance stocks. Not exciting. He did not pick home run investments. He's a great investor because he laughs at you when the markets fall. Apple is a great example of that. The stock was volatile as hell the first part of the year. Come to find out, Warren Buffett was laughing at you guys. He was buying the stock when it was falling. So you keep in mind that the stock market recovers 100% of the time from every single decline. And actually, keep your eye on our event schedule. If you're one of our customers, the next class that we're going to do is how long does it take for the markets to recover from declines? It's taken us over a month to put this study together, and we actually now can tell you, on average, when the markets fall, how long until it recovers the whole thing. What's the longest that it's taken? What's the shortest amount of time that the markets have fallen 10% and recovered all the way? What's the most the markets have fallen? And then how long did it take for it to go? Just geeky stuff, man. Yeah, totally geeky stuff. This is what I love to do in my spare time besides hanging out with spenders. But if you keep in mind that the markets do recover 100% of every decline, then what are you scared of? What are you worried about? If the stock market falls, shouldn't you be calling me cheering, excited, going, Dustin, we're getting a 5% discount. I want to buy more. That's the mindset that the best investors have. Of course, Warren Buffett, all through 2008, 9, and 10, he was literally on CNBC laughing at the average investor, saying, I'm laughing at the average investor because they have panicked themselves out of the market. And he was gobbling stuff up, man. That's how you do it. That's how you become more wealthy. In my personal life, I'm actually making a video on this. We just switched cars. My wife had a very, very nice car. We're getting rid of it. We bought a less expensive car, and I'm going to show you how we did it, the company we used and everything, because you could save a lot of money with this too. But the idea is we are playing the economy backwards. We're pretending times are tough. We are not going out and about. We don't spend on any excess stuff that we don't need. We're pretending that the economy is in the tank right now and just saving up all of our money. We're pretending like we're about to lose our jobs, because you know what's going to happen? One day in my lifetime, I'm almost 36. One day in my lifetime, the market, the economy will experience a severe downturn again, and I'm going to have a ton of money, a ton of resources to go and gobble up all that stuff with the likes of Warren Buffett, hope he's still around, and I'm going to just laugh right along with him. So play the economy backwards and make sure that when the markets fall, you don't panic. 100% of the time, the markets recover from every decline in history. And in about a week and a half, you're going to know exactly how long it takes for that to happen. When we do that class, that'll be for our customers if you keep your eye out for that one. Okay, so don't be scared, okay? If you're a customer of ours at Jazz Wealth, we don't invest you in any one way that we have to call you and say, bad news, you lost everything, right? I don't want to call and give you bad news, but I want to give you performance. And so that's what our goal is there. Okay, so number one, the first thing that holds you back from becoming wealthy is you think it's not possible. It is possible. We've gone over some of the things you can do about it. Number two, you've got to do the math. You've got to figure out the numbers for your goal, not for what some guy on YouTube is telling you your goal should be, but for what your goal is. Number three, don't separate your wants from, you're not separating your wants from your needs. Number four, you're focusing only on expenses when you budget. Don't do that. Broaden your horizons a little bit. Number five, you follow ridiculous fad investments. Please, if you take one thing from this, stop it. Don't do that. Number six, you're spending time with spenders. You definitely, I know some of you, I can see the comments already. You are spending time with spenders. Stop it. Get those people on the same page as you, or go find friends that are on the same page. Go on meetup.com. Go join someone that wants to talk about money. Sit at a Panera Bread and talk about money all night. It'll be great. Number seven, you're investing with a fear mindset. There's nothing to be scared of. If you are invested correctly, there is nothing to be scared of if the markets fall. If you have long enough until retirement, it should be an exciting event, not a fearful event. And number eight, the biggest thing that holds you back from becoming wealthy in your own right is you don't know where to start. What does it mean to become wealthy for you? If you're a self-employed individual, do you think you're going to sell your business in the future? If so, who do you get to sell your business? If you're looking for a certain income in retirement and that's what you're saving for, who helps you with that, right? How are they going to get that done? What's the best account type? Where should you be putting your money? So knowing where to start, doing the research and getting going. Now, little plug here. That's what we set this business up for. We are going to help you with your retirement. Make sure you're everywhere you need to be, but along the way, we're going to teach you about doing the right thing with your money, your budget, your personal income, and then the types of accounts or the types of investments that you have. We have a saying around here, if it touches your money and you want help with it, we're happy to help. If it touches your money and you want a second pair of eyes, we're happy to help, right? That's what I want to do. I want to make sure that your wealth, your nest egg, that's why we call that product nest egg, is set up in a way that you are taking every move perfectly. Last night we did a class for our customers where we talked about the exact reason why the wealthy choose certain accounts over others and the actual tax difference because they do choose that. Not breaking any tax rules. They're using the tax laws as available, but we went over why I preach what I do and specifically justified that reason. Rather than the general stuff you see on YouTube, we went and justified that reason for you. So number 8, if you don't know where to start, I hope you'll consider us here at Jazz Wealth. But if not, go find the right person, the right fiduciary, the right friend, the right person that knows what's best for you and is willing to do what's best for you, okay? So I know we did this live. There's probably a few questions in here, so I'll answer a few of those questions, then I'll wrap it up. Leave a comment if you need any help. Great advice. Thanks, Bruce. Can't index funds right now be considered a fad investment? I think it's just a mentality of people. It's laziness. It's laziness, and I can't believe how many people leave comments saying, Dustin, you can't beat the markets, right? You just can't do it. We do. If you bought an index fund and you bought Apple, you could beat the market, right? So this excuse that you can't beat the S&P 500, I don't know where it started, but it's absolute garbage, and the person that started it or whoever follows that advice just doesn't know anything about investing. We're going to do a video on beta soon where I'm actually going to show you why our aggressive portfolio beats the market. It's not because I do anything magic, it's because we position it that way. So that kills me with those index funds. And that's laziness for someone to say, I don't want to pay anything to have someone manage my account and I'm willing to just accept whatever comes along with the market. Why would you just accept whatever the market does? Don't you want better than that? Or don't you want to be positioned better than that? So, I could do a whole video on that too. It's just frustrating. I don't know. Henry's an honest one, man. I like it. Are you going to sell your personal finance stuff separate from your investing service? Am I going to sell my personal finance? I don't know if I have personal. What I do have is, I guess it could be something that's sold. But right now, what we're putting together, and I'm using Teachable just because I like that platform. It's about 35 videos at the moment going through everything personal finance related. Exactly how much to spend on a car and exactly how to finance it so that you end up ahead of the depreciation curve, buying homes, how much exactly to spend on college, how to pay it back exactly. So I'm putting all this stuff together for customers. I don't know that it has a value outside in the real world. Something to think about, I guess. What do you think about real estate investing instead of the stock market? I mean, not REITs, but actual properties. Real estate as an investment, provided that it's just like the market. There are good investments in the market, and there are some that will not yield that return that makes it worthwhile. I'm very careful about investing in real estate, and as far as teaching about it, there's a right way, and then there's a way that seems right but doesn't generate the total return that is more justifiable than other investments. So that's a great question. It's a big question. Maybe should be a good detailed video there. I'm realizing you guys do like the geeky stuff a little bit, so some of the videos that I've kind of held off on because they're too specific, it sounds like you guys can handle it and want it. Kyle, I'm 22 in college, lucky enough that my parents give me enough money that I can save monthly. How can I save money? I know the retirement accounts need income. Yeah, you need income, so you would consider maybe a taxable account for that. There is no requirement as far as income or limitations on it. That might be the only option for you considering your lack of direct income right now. So that might be something you consider there. Or just called an individual or taxable account. What happens when you hang out with spenders? Yeah, if you can find that, Henry, the spenders that'll spend money on you and never complain about it, cheers. And Bruce... let's see. So what else do we have? The index fund, Jim Collins, Mr. Money Mustache. Yeah, it's what it is. I mean, yeah, we'll do that video for sure. Dustin, is it better to put $5,500 in an IRA at the beginning of the year if you have money versus weekly or monthly deposits? We did a video on this. I believe we did 3 videos on this. Although every financial advisor will tell you lump sum, lump sum, lump sum, the math actually shows if you have at least 30 years until retirement, if you break that amount over the weeks, you end up about $30,000 ahead. Of course, looking back in history, we can't say that going forward, but by doing it in a weekly smaller contribution, breaking it up, you actually end up better in the long run. I will tell you that because I don't care if you want to do the lump sum or you want to put in weekly, it doesn't change what we're going to do here. I don't make any more money or less money off of it. I mean, probably a little more money, but to me, it means more to me to have you do what's best for you. If you're investing with us, we're just happy that you chose us, right? So how you want to go about it, we want you to have the best path, and that best path, at least with the slight advantage, is to go weekly over monthly. Finney says, can you tell us what your rate of return was for 2017? I'll do better. I'll tell you each portfolio on our website. Here, I'll show you. On our website, you just go to Jazz Wealth. We update it every Friday. So you not only, oh, you can't see that. Ha! We update it every Friday, all right? So if you go to our website, under services, the very first choice is portfolios and performance. And what you can do is you can see all the portfolios that we offer, Finney. And these two are our aggressive ones. And as you go, the sort of clever speedometer thing shows you the risk is reducing little by little. But as you go through it, you can actually click on it and go, all right, aggressive stock portfolio. Let's see the performance. As of last Friday, we update it every Friday. We'll even tell you how we choose the investments. How do we manage this portfolio specifically? So really, you could replicate it if you were smart enough or detailed enough. We'll tell you exactly what our goals are for it, how we update it, and of course the performance. We just posted that. So excited about that. We got past the regulators. They were happy with how we put it all together. No other financial advisor shows their performance, okay? And I'm going to leave you with this because I didn't want to make this too long, but no other advisor shows their financial performance or their portfolio's performance. And I will send a coffee cup, a Jazz Well, I'm going to find, we have a bunch of them outside, but to the first person that can leave a comment on this video, not in the chat, leave the comment on the video because I'm going to close this down. Why will no other financial advisor, financial analyst, whatever it is that manages your retirement, why won't they show their performance? You tell me why in the comments, and I will send that person a Jazz Wealth coffee cup. Not used, I promise, but I will send it to you. So anyways, all of our performance can be found there, Finney. I hope you enjoy that. That will be all. So hey, thanks for joining us here. 8 wealth mistakes that were holding you back should no longer be holding you back anymore. I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate you guys coming by, checking us out. I'm gonna keep working on this video thing because the quality is like really not great. Anyways, thanks for joining us. Leave a comment. Let me know why will no other advisor show their performance on their website. All right. Enjoy, guys. Talk to you soon.